Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Good to see you there, and welcome to beautiful Babbacombe here on the South Devon coast. Now, Babbacombe is famous for having the UK's highest promenade, which is right behind us. You'll see why it's so high in just a few seconds time. There's really loads to do here. It's effectively just a suburb of Torquay, but there is so much going on in Babbacombe, and we're going to have a bit of a bounce around.
We are.
And we're going to have a good time. It's supposed to be blue skies today. The sun is sort of trying to come out. So yeah, let's go for it. And you, of course, are coming too. Well, although we're not going into the Babbacombe model village today, you can just get a glimpse of it over the fence there. It really is worthwhile going into though. It's fantastic, and it's not just for kids, and we'll definitely be doing that again later this year. I'm thinking maybe around Christmas time. For what is effectively a suburb of Torquay, Babbacombe has got so much going on, so much to offer, and this is probably one of the more famous attractions of Babbacombe, the wonderful model village, which is absolutely superb. We've only ever been in once, but it is definitely worthwhile doing. It's just fantastic. It's not just for kids, it's for everybody. We're not going in there today though, but we'll definitely do it at some point later on in the year for you. Yeah, so you can see why this is called the highest promenade in the UK, because it's a long way down to the beach, but there's a great way of getting down there, which we'll show you in a few minutes time. That's Oddicombe Beach below us, and as you look around the coast you can see sunny Teignmouth just around the corner there. That's where we live, and in the farther distance the coast of Exmouth, and then swinging round the East Devon coast, and on a very clear day, which it isn't today, you can see right the way into Dorset, and if it's a really clear day you can actually see Portland Bill in the distance, which is how far away, Nina?
It's 40 miles away.
40 nautical miles across the bay. And you had a couple of other bits there, didn't you?
I did, yes. I looked in a 1920s guidebook that my dad had got, and it talks about Oddicombe Beach, and it actually says there are few spots in the kingdom to compare with Oddicombe for rich, bold combinations of colour. The sandstone, the white beach, the green vegetation, and the blue sky and sea. Ooh,
sounds just perfect, doesn't it? And this area of greenery here is Babbacombe Downs, very popular, especially in the summer. They have the occasional fete and event on here as well. And it's just a really nice piece of greenery in front of the line of hotels and cafes and restaurants. This is probably the most famous of the Babbacombe hotels, because it is the Babbacombe Hotel. We'll show you some of the others a little bit later on. And just in case you were wondering where we were, there you are. And a nice little statue here of a very important lady. Tell us all about this person, Nina.
Yes, she's actually Baroness now, Mount Temple. She was Lady Mount Temple, and her husband founded the RSPCA. So this statue's in her memory because she carried on his work, and she's always got flowers.
Fabulous. What a wonderful lady. And here is the place that Babbacombe is probably most famous for, the wonderful Cliff Railway. By far and away the best way to get down to Oddicombe Beach. Yeah, the Babbacombe Cliff Railway was built in 1926. It's nowadays run as a charity with volunteers. In February 1923, the Torquay Tramway Company commissioned Waygood Otis Limited with the engineering and construction of the railway, which started in 1924, and the line first opened 1st of April 1926. It cost £15,648 to construct, and the company continued to work the line until 1935, when it was taken over by the Torbay Borough Council. And then back in 2009, the ownership of the line was transferred from Torbay Council, who'd inherited ownership from Torquay Borough Council as a result of local government reorganisation, to a specifically created community interest company. In 2019, the CIC converted to become a charitable incorporated organisation. Off they go. And of course, as one goes down, the other one comes up, and this will be ours. dive straight into the sea, doesn't it? Here comes the other one, nobody coming up. But of course, as one goes down, the other one has to come up, or vice versa. Just easing into place. And here we are at Oddicombe. You can see where we've come down. It's only a short journey, but it's lovely. £2.50 for an adult. I think it's worthwhile doing. And this is the lovely beach at Oddicombe. Really nice. Quiet today. If it was sunny, it would be a lot busier. And I think we're just on the cusp of the school holidays starting. And of course, you know, the next few weeks this is going to get much, much busier down here. Yeah, definitely worthwhile doing. Yes, £2.50 for about 2 minutes in the funicular, but it's keeping a local bit of tradition alive, and it's great fun at the same time. Anyway, let's go off and have a look at Oddicombe and have a walk across the beach. And there it is. What a beautiful location the Oddicombe station is in, isn't it? And looking across towards the Cary Arms over there. We're going to be heading over there a little bit later on. And it's cloudy today, but look at it, it's still beautiful, don't you think?
Some lovely, lovely patterns on the sea as well. It's so calm.
Even on a day like this, I mean, it's not horrible, it's not raining or anything, but even on a day like this, the sea is always different and always beautiful. Tell you what, it's been a couple of years since I've been down here to Oddicombe, and it's certainly developed in that time. Brand new toilets, certainly better than the old ones. The beach hut, which is a very nice takeaway as well. You can hire a sea kayak. And of course you've got your seaside shop over there and a very nice restaurant behind there as well. I used to love beachside shops like this when I was little, where you got your buckets and spades. Always still brings back that feeling of excitement of going to the seaside as a kid, because we were brought up in the Midlands, of course, so it was a novelty to come over to the coast. Always got excited. Did you used to do sixpence for the first sight of the sea? We used to do that. And I was just thinking to myself, do they still do buckets and spades? Yes, they do. And crabbing buckets as well. Oh yeah. And fishing nets.
I think you should try one of these on.
Do you?
Yeah,
Oh,
go
on
on
then. Here we go. What do you think?
Oh, actually, that's very good. Yeah, it's rather nice. Yes.
Quite like this one. What do you reckon?
I prefer that one. Yeah, I think that's rather nice.
£12.99.
Be great for next weekend.
Yes. More about that later. Sea's very calm today. You can hire your kayaks here. It's a lovely bay for kayaking. I'm not sure if you can pick them up, but there are some over there by the rocks. Always so colourful, aren't they? Beautiful. And here you are, 22nd of July. Okay, it's not totally blue skies, but the sun is out. It's 23 degrees Celsius, and here we are, our crowded Devon beaches. What do you reckon? Almost tempted to go in, but luckily for you, I don't have my swimmies with me. Thank God for that. And just behind the beach, you've got 3 degrees west, lovely place to sit and have a drink, or maybe a toasted tea cake or something like that. And Nina's found a nice table. What have you ordered?
I'm having a hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate, and I have ordered an iced coffee, a good old frappe to remind me of Greece. That looks nice. What you got there?
Oh, I've got a beautiful hot chocolate.
Absolutely. And I've got a cold coffee, an iced coffee. Oh, hang on, let's just line up the scenic shot here. Yeah, that'll do. What an absolutely wonderful place to stop off for a drink or a meal. 3 degrees west down here at Oddicombe Beach. Thumbs up for that, Nina, eh?
Oh gosh, yeah. And the restaurant inside's perfect.
Absolutely lovely as well.
Gorgeous.
And the good news is, peeps, the sun is coming out. And just next door, you've got the lovely visitor centre for the Cliff Railway. Got the old ticket office. Old 1904 picture of the bay. I love these old pictures like this. And the information about how the Cliff Railway came about. One interesting thing here is that George Marks was the consultant for the project, and he also designed various other ones, including the Linton and Lynmouth Cliff Railway and the Funicular Railway at Bridgnorth in Shropshire, which we know very well, don't we?
We do.
I love the little model as well. I wonder if it works. Sorry about the reflection of my hairy legs.
Thank you.
And pictures through the ages, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Lovely. And a little visitor shop. This apparently used to be the toilets and the shower rooms, but it's really nice what they've done with it now. You could see there's still a couple of the old boat winches from when they used to haul the boats out of the sea and up the beach. And a quintessential English seaside scene with the colourful beach huts. But they've painted them all up and they're looking lovely for the summer. Right, so next we're going to be walking along there, above the sea, under the cliffs, over towards the Cary Arms in the distance. It's a lovely walk actually, so come on, let's have a look. It's busied up a little, but it's still pretty quiet. That sea definitely looks good enough to go in, doesn't it? So calm today. There's a few brave people out there swimming. I think the water temperature at the moment is about 16 degrees. It probably will only go up to about 18 at the best, probably in August.
I'm quite tempted actually if I'd have got my kit today to go in.
I would definitely have been tempted, but thank goodness for the viewers' sake that we forgot our kits. Right, so we're on the coast path. Let's do it and head off towards the Cary Arms and what they actually call the proper Babbacombe Beach. This is Oddicombe Beach, but we're heading now towards Babbacombe Beach. And while we were sitting at the cafe back there having our coffee, I posted a picture up on Facebook to say where we were, and I got a lovely message from Jeff Tucker. Jeff's one of my Facebook friends. He does a fantastic job promoting the world of progressive rock down in the Southampton area, and he said that when he was a child, him and his sister used to come here because their aunt and uncle lived nearby, and they used to come and race the funicular down the hill to see if they could beat it down to Oddicombe Beach. What a wonderful childhood memory. So if you're watching this, Jeff, thanks very much for the message. That was absolutely lovely to hear. Really is a lovely walk along here. Only takes about 20 minutes to walk over to the Cary Arms at a gentle amble.
This beautiful butterfly.
Oh yeah.
On the buddleia.
Hello, Mr. Flutterby. He's gone. Doesn't want to be on YouTube. And you can see Teignmouth in the distance there. You probably won't pick it up on this camera, but I can see the church tower. And I can see the hill where our house is, which is sort of almost directly above that on the ridge. And looking across, you can see Exmouth, Budleigh Salterton, and the cliffs beyond Sidmouth. And look out in the sea, because this is a very popular area for seals to be bobbing around, especially over there by the quayside, so we'll keep our eyes open for you. A little wee stream to ford here, and the stepping stones. And look, just a little waterfall. Oh look, Nina, it's your favourite bit.
Oh look, at least there's a handrail.
At least there's a handrail. Look at this, how pretty though, isn't it? Beautiful. Right, up we go. And if we were to turn right at the top, that would take us back up to Babbacombe Downs, but we'll be back there in a few minutes. But we've got somewhere else to go first. Yeah, we're heading this way. One of my favourite bits of this little walk. Look at this beautiful little cove here. Just gorgeous. This, by the way, peeps, is about 1.5 miles from Torquay town centre. Don't believe what you read about Torquay, it's absolutely gorgeous. And I was just saying to Nina, I wonder how many people come to Babbacombe and only ever see the top bit and never come down here. And look how beautiful it is. Okay, you've got to have a certain level of mobility to do this walk. Not suitable if you're struggling with your mobility or in a wheelchair or anything like that. But if you are of, you know, even moderate medium fitness, this is just gorgeous. And the prettiness continues as you just come around the corner and you've got this lovely little bridge here. Just gorgeous, isn't it? Feel so lucky to have this on our doorstep. Yeah, and as you turn the corner you can see Babbacombe Beach in front of us and the Cary Arms complex behind, and we'll show you a bit of a closer look in just a second. I see there's one of my colleagues from Royal Mail delivering there. There's worse rounds to have, I think. Yeah, so this is Babbacombe Beach here.
That's such a pretty walk.
Isn't it lovely?
It's gorgeous.
Absolutely gorgeous. Oddicombe Beach behind us. Yeah, it's really nice. And we're just moving forwards. Another little cafe here you can stop and have a drink at. Another beautiful Cary Arms on the quayside. Let's go and have a look on the quayside, see if there's any seals around. Nice to see this open for the summer. Not too busy this morning, in fact not busy at all. Another lovely place to just sit and have an ice cream or a coffee or whatever you fancy. Very pretty beachside cottage, which is nowadays part of the Cary Arms complex. Looking out over the rocks and the quayside. Let's go and have a close look over there. And just in the distance, mid-screen, you can see where there's been a lot of cliff falls, which is a thing with the sandstone cliffs along the Devon coast, especially over in the Sidmouth area. But you can see there that they've had a couple of really big falls. And I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe that one house has already been lost a few years ago from there. Can you just imagine how awful that must be? And there's a couple of houses that are looking quite precarious, but hopefully they'll be okay. And if you want a little spot to yourself, well almost, there's another little cove just around here behind the rocks. If you don't mind clambering over the rocks, you can find a nice little sunbathing spot there. And the lovely little jetty, the little quayside here at the Cary Arms. Kids are crabbing, great place to crab. And there's some divers out there as well, some fishermen fishing off the end. And what a beautiful little spot. Great place to fish, of course. Can't see any seals at the moment. There's quite often seals around here, especially when there's fishermen around. And also we're looking out for dolphins. There's loads of dolphins in the bay off the South Devon coast at the moment. Can't see any at the moment, but you never know. You've got to keep your eyes open. And you can see the extent of the Cary Arms complex. What started off just as one pub in the middle is now a big hotel and spa, and most of these buildings are part of that. Big enterprise. I'll tell you a little bit more about the Cary Arms in a sec. Yeah, so as its name suggests, the Cary Arms was originally an inn when it opened in the bay. It was a pretty isolated area at the time. The inn would have provided lodging and food to the local fishing community. The Cary family have been part of Torquay's history since the 1600s, when Sir George Cary moved into Tor Abbey in Torquay. Yeah, the Cary Arms and Spa here in Babbacombe are owned by the De Savory family. The family are known for their expertise in luxury accommodation and boutique hotels, and they've overseen extensive refurbishment and extensions since around 2006. Peter De Savory is specifically named as the owner here. They also own the Cary Arms cottages, which are part of the larger Cary Arms and Spa complex. Yeah, the water's so clear here. A few jellyfish around, you can just about make them out, but there have been hundreds over the last few weeks here in the South Devon area. There's been a epidemic of them. Loads of them washed up on the beach, especially where we are in Teignmouth as well.
I think that's why we've got more dolphins, because they tend to chase them a bit.
The dolphins love jellyfish. It's quite an acquired taste, I believe. Now you can actually drive down here. There is a car park, as you can see, but please beware, because to get back you have to go up this hill, and it is really steep, and after a few yards you've got a sharp right bend. And I remember doing this just after it had rained. It had gone dark, we'd had a meal in the pub, and we tried to come up here, and the wheels just went and you could smell the rubber burning. I had to make everybody get out of the car and have another run up at it. Just about made it. And here we are out on the terrace at the Cary Arms. Yeah, we had to come in, of course we did. And we've ordered fish finger sandwiches. Oh, I just love fish finger sandwiches. But it's so beautiful sitting out here. We've quite often brought friends here when they've come down from up country. And you can even go out there and sit on the terrace bar, look. How beautiful. Yeah, I'm afraid so. We're at it again. Anyway, scenic lunchtime drink of the day. Cheers. And right now, to be honest with you, I can think of few more beautiful places to sit and have lunch. Oh yes. It's lunchtime, and look at this. So you get that with that view. I'm not trying to make you envious, you know, I'm just, you know, showcasing the area. You can come here too. And you just know they're nice people when they have one of these. Absolutely gorgeous lunch, very highly recommended. And it's one of the lovely holiday houses, you can stay in here. Yeah, you can see how steep this road is. How are you doing there, Nina?
Steep.
Steep. Right, onwards and upwards. Of course, you don't have to come back this way. You can take the funicular back. Well, there is a cliff path that goes up through the trees as well. And just look at this, another one of the stunning cottages as part of the Cary Arms estate. That's just beautiful, isn't it? Well, we made it back up the hill. That is one heck of a hill. Anyway, here we are, right by the Babbacombe Theatre. And this was built on the grounds of a site where bands used to play in the summer. The Babbacombe Downs Concert Hall was built in 1938 to replace the weather-damaged bandstand that used to be here, which had been constructed in the 20s and the 30s. The hall could be built no higher than the old awning, so all the seats in the auditorium are on one level. Ernest Goss's Municipal Orchestra with the BBC baritone John Stebbin were the inaugural performers in 1939, and the first Sunday concert was at a live radio broadcast with Redvers Llewellyn on the 4th of June. And that same evening, patrons could hear and see the famous Richard Torbay under the baton of Mr. Goss and the Municipal Orchestra. And if you wanted to go to that, tickets started at 2 and 6 and went up to a very pricey 10 and 6. So the military commandeered the Babbacombe Theatre during the Second World War, and it's actually documented that 27,000 aircrew were trained right here at the Babbacombe Theatre. In June 1940, the venue became the #1 aircrew receiving centre, with new airmen being kitted out at the nearby Babbacombe Garage. And it's considered a valuable part of the Babbacombe and St Mary Church community. They work with other local attractions, retail and licensed establishments to promote the area. The theatre season runs from mid-Feb to the 1st of January, with midweek shows throughout the year as well. Weekend shows during the holiday season. acts have appeared here in recent times have been people like Frank Carson, Jethro, obviously they're no longer with us sadly, Jimmy Tarbuck, Kiki D, the Rubettes, Tim Vine, Des O'Connor, Aka Bilk, Kenny Ball, Elkie Brooks, Lenny Henry, Chuckle Brothers, to me, to you, Pam Ayres, Shawaddy Waddy, Jimmy Cricket, and the Brotherhood of Man. My goodness.
And the seats inside are really plush red velvet and they're gorgeous. One of the most comfortable theatres out.
It is very comfortable, and they do have some really good tribute bands on there as well. We've seen a really good Santana tribute band there, and also a really good Fleetwood Mac tribute band in recent times as well.
Queen Victoria's mum was actually a lady in waiting here, and Victoria afterwards used to come and sketch here because of the beautiful scenery and all these gorgeous flowers.
And here a really nice area just to sit and just admire the scenery. We used to bring Nina's mum here a lot when she was with us. Very easy to get along here with a wheelchair and just look at the view. And down to the left, that's Oddicombe Beach where we started the video a little bit earlier on. And a lovely view right across the bay to Teignmouth and across to East Devon. And just down there on the right, the quayside where we were just by the Cary Arms. They do keep the flowers here beautifully. What sorts are these, do you know?
No. I don't actually. I just know I like the colour.
But they're very nice. So here we are back on Babbacombe Downs. And even if you're elderly or if you've got an elderly relative, very easy to just to walk along here and you get these stunning views at the same time. And here is probably the most famous tea room. They make gorgeous Devon cream teas in there. Cream first, of course, as they say around here, that's Angels. And then down the end of that road where you can see the flags, that is where Hanbury's famous fish and chip shop is, probably the most famous fish and chip shop in the southwest of England. And the Buccaneer Inn, which is a really nice pub. Me and my mate Simon tend to go there after we've been to see Torquay United play, which is really only about 15 minutes up the hill behind here.
There's a very, very good story about John Babbacombe Lee. Now, John Babbacombe Lee was born in Abbots Kerswell, just up the road, but he worked in the Royal Navy for years, and then he became working in a house here in Babbacombe. His employer was murdered and he was convicted of it. He was taken to Exeter prison and they tried to actually hang him 3 times, and 3 times the gallows just didn't work. And because of that, he got let off. He did get a life sentence. However, his body was finally found in somewhere in America in a graveyard there, so he obviously escaped somehow. So John Babbacombe Lee, the man that escaped hanging.
The man they couldn't hang, they called him, didn't they?
Yeah.
Some jiggery pokery going on there, I would say.
Oh, there's lots if you read about it. It's quite interesting.
And another one of the lovely viewing points here. And once again, looking down to Oddicombe Beach, and you could just hear the Funicular railway where we were earlier on. And this is a rather nice way to have your tea. Get your fish and chips from Hanbury's, which are very good, and then come out here to the Downs, just about 2 or 3 minutes walk down the road, and you have a beautiful view waiting for you with beautiful fish and chips. So there we are, that was Babbacombe. The weather hasn't been perfect, but then it's not been too bad either. The sun did come out, it's a bit blowy, but it's okay. Just imagine how beautiful this is on a blue sky day with the sea reflecting the blue. It's just absolutely stunning. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed Babbacombe.
I've thoroughly enjoyed it because I had lunch out, coffee out, just perfect.
Always nice to come here, even though we just live across the road, so to speak. Always feels like we're on holiday when we come here. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you'll join us again on the next one very soon. Ta-ra!
Bye!